We need to accept all the light. Is it good enough if we accept 50%? What about 70%? What about 90%? That's going to get a pass in school. 90%'s okay. Well, maybe in some degrees you need 95 or 98. Maybe 99. 99's not good enough. It has to be 100%. And why does it have to be 100%? Because that 1% that we hold back is what's going to take us all the way to perdition. Manuscript release, continuing. The interests of the cause of present truth demand that those who profess to stand on the Lord's side shall bring into exercise all their powers to vindicate the Advent message. How much does it take to give this message? All. The most important message that will ever come to the world. For those who stand as representatives of present truth to use time and energy now in attempting to answer the questions of the doubting ones will be an unwise use of their time. Wow. So people who are doubting and questioning, we shouldn't even waste time answering that. Why? Because they're doubting and questioning and they don't want it in the end. They're holding something back. There's 1%, 2%, 5%, 10% that they don't want to accept. And they can see it, and you can see they can see it. But for some reason, something won't allow them to accept that 1%. It will not remove the doubts. The burden of our work now is not to labor for those who, although they have had abundant light and evidence, still continue on the unbelieving side. God bids us give our time and strength to the work of preaching to the people the messages that stirred men and women in what years? 1843 and 1844. We can't spend time giving pearls to the swine. These people who are conservatives, they accept 99% of the truth, but there's that 1% that they just can't do it because of X, Y, Z. This is very sad, and we need to introspect and see, is there 1%, half a percent, a 0.001% that we are holding from God and not willing to accept because friends, family, church members, whatever it might be, and we need to give our time to giving these messages that stirred the movement in 43 and 44. And that's what we're talking about this camp meeting. Because what were those messages? That was the three angels' messages that were given in these years. Now, unfortunately, we do not know what those messages actually were. So we're going to be talking about that. We are now to labor unceasingly to get the truth before Jew and Gentile. Instead of going over and over the same ground to establish the faith of those who should never have accepted a doubt regarding the third angel's message, let our efforts be given to making known the truth to those who have never heard it. God calls upon us to make known to all men the truths that have made us what we are, Seventh-day Adventists. Jesus gave a commission to his disciples. He said, go to this city, and if they will hear it, you give the message. But what if they don't? They have to dust their feet and go to the next city to those who will hear it. What cities were they all in? A lot of those were cities in Israel, which means that was the message to Israel, to the church. Now, Again, we're going over concepts before we dive right into each message. There's going to be new theories that are going to come in to remove the platform. And the platform is these messages from 1840 to 44. You'll even hear people say things like, oh, well, that's the old view, or that's the old message, or the old gospel, the old understanding. We are updated, we're new, we've come to more light, things have changed. This should be a bright red flag. For more than half a century, the different points of present truth have been questioned and opposed. New theories have been advanced as truth, which were what? Not truth. So is it just new theories that are coming in now? Or is it new theories that came in immediately after 1844? Because she says more than half a century. And already there was creeping in errors that are presented as truth. And the Spirit of God revealed their error. As the great pillars of our faith have been presented, the Holy Spirit has borne witness of them, and especially is this so regarding the truths of the sanctuary question. Over and over again, the Holy Spirit has in marked manner endorsed the preaching of this doctrine, but today, as in the past, some will be led to form new theories and to deny the truths upon which the Spirit of God has placed his approval. I'm sorry, this is a long quotation, but it was really good. I couldn't leave it out. I know from the light that God has given me that there should be a revival of the messages that have been given when? In the past. Not a revival of new ideas, new theories, new light, but of the past messages. What is it about the past messages? These messages that gave the revival in 43 and 44. So if the revival came in 43, when did the message have to come? 43 or before, right? It couldn't have come after. It had to come before. So there was something there that we need to give today. Because men will seek to bring in new theories and will try to prove that these theories are scriptural, whereas they are error, which if allowed a place will undermine faith in the truth. We are not to accept these suppositions and pass them along as truth. No. We must not move from the platform of truth on which we have been established. This is the everlasting gospel, the foundation, the platform. When you build a platform, let's say you're building a house, and you pour the foundation, and it's nice, it's good, solid. Okay, great. Now we start adding walls. But now, once you have the walls, what if you start taking out bricks and pillars and things from the foundation? What's going to happen to the house? It's going to fall over. So we have a foundation that was laid. Does that mean that we can't build a house on top? No, we can build a house on top as long as we don't disturb the foundation. Because if we disturb the foundation, whatever we build is going to fall. I saw a company who stood well guarded and firm, giving no countenance to those who would unsettle the established faith of the body. God looked upon them with approbation. I was shown how many steps? 3 steps. The first, second, and third angels' messages. Said my accompanying angel, woe to him who shall move a block or stir a pin of these messages. The true understanding of these messages, now you understand why I named this, the true 3 angels' messages. Because she's saying the true understanding of these messages is of what? Vital importance. What does that mean? This is life or death. This is our eternal soul is at risk. The true understanding, how can she say this unless there was a false understanding? So this doesn't mean that the preachers are going to say, we don't need the three angels message. They're literally going to say, we need the three angels message. Here's what it is. But it's not the three angels message, not the one that we were founded on. The destiny of souls hangs upon the manner in which they are received. I was again brought down through these messages. I want you not to miss this. Wendy talked about this, the experience of these messages. This is what we're missing. We just talk about the third angel's message because the other ones are over. We need to preach the third angel's message. No, we need to preach the three angels in their order, step 1, step 2, step 3. And the reason we're not, I have no idea. I was again brought down through these messages and saw how dearly the people of God had purchased their experience. It had been obtained through what? Much suffering and severe conflict. God had led them along step by step until it placed them on a what? Solid, immovable platform. Early Writings, page 188.2. In like manner, those who have had no experience in the first and second angel's messages. Now, I want to note something. She said, which angel's messages here? First and second. Why didn't she say third? There's a really important reason for that. And we're going to see this over the next couple days. But we need to not miss one jot or tittle when we are reading and studying. So when she says first and second, there's a reason. Must receive from others who what? Had an experience and followed down through the messages. How many people here were alive when those messages were given? I definitely was not. So do I have an experience in those messages? No. How do we get the experience? By reading, right? So we need to read what in order to get the experience of these messages? The writings of the people who went through the experience. Could we name any of those people? Okay, I need a little louder. Okay, Miller, Bates, Snow, great. So who should we maybe take a look at? Miller, Bates, Snow, these other persons who gave these messages. How many have read Miller and Bates and Snow's books? I would guess very little. But we should. And we'll be doing a bit of that this week. Listen, as Jesus was rejected, I saw that these messages have been rejected. As the disciples declared that there was what? Salvation. Is she bringing salvation into the mix? There is salvation in no other name under heaven given among men. So also should the servants of God faithfully and fearlessly warn those who embrace but a part. She's not warning those who haven't even heard. It's the people who are only embracing a part because they're the ones in danger because they are Laodicean. They think they're okay. They think, we got this. We know the basics. Connected with the third angel's messages, that they must gladly receive how much? All the messages as God has given them. What does as God has given them mean? That's this 3-step testing process, right? This in their order, the experience, or have what? No part in the matter. That is strong language. So if you're not going to do justice to these three angels' messages and talk about really what is there and what was our foundation and platform, don't even say that you preach the three angels' messages.